one of the first thoughts I had when we got his diagnosis was I was terrified of adults with Down syndrome. I was like,
Really?
okay, but I have to push past this and I
Mm.
have to figure out a way to get over my
Yeah.
fear. And you know, I have social anxiety with typical people.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, and I,
That's
like I
fair.
was saying
Yeah.
earlier, like I was never really exposed to people with disabilities growing up
Okay.
at a private school. And then later I did go to a public school, but they were all, shuffled off into the back room.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't have any experience in my life, you know, in conversing with people with disabilities. And so I
Yeah.
forced myself to go to things like buddy walks and just walk up. And I just like, I had to get over my fear. And
Wow.
obviously, like after my first couple of conversations, I was like, this was a silly fear, but you don't
Right.
know what you don't know. And so
Exactly.
I had to
Exactly.
get over my fear.
That's right.
And so now one of my favorite things to do is talk to people with adults with Down syndrome.
Totally. It's the
And so
best.
I
Yeah.
think just like exposing yourself
Mm.
intentionally going after people that are different than you and asking them
Wow.
to coffee or, just going to events where there's people that are different than you. My daughter, she really got involved with ASL after Eli was born. We
Mm-hmm.
thought he was deaf. That's another story.
Mm.
Okay.
And so one of the coolest things was we would go to these events with deaf people, and it was just so cool to like be able to communicate with them. And one of the things my daughter did that was so cool is there was a guy there that was deaf and blind, and
Wow.
so she would sign into his hand, and he would sign into
Wow.
hers. And it was just such a
Beautiful.
cool thing to be like, Eli has like been able to expose us to so many cool people that we wouldn't have been exposed to
No.
before.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I think like just people like, if you're listening and you've never been exposed to someone that's different, like ask yourself why and then, you know, take a stand and do
Mm.
something about it. Start,
Mm.
um, you know, going after people that are different than you and
Hmm.
open your world. It's
Yeah. I
kind of
love
like what you were
that.
saying earlier, Joy, just like, if we're just surrounding ourselves with people that are just like us, we live in a very small world.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so just
Yes.
open yourself up. It's so much better out there.